saw your some pictures on LinkedIn of your team, and you all look so fun. And yes, okay,
Yeah, the picture doesn't lie.
the pictures didn't lie.
Welcome to our series entitled the IAM Podcast, a podcast about innovation, business, and most importantly, people. In this series, we'll be talking to founders, executives, and various experts about their vision, challenges, best practices, and lessons learned throughout their journey. Let's get started.
Hello, everyone. What's up? And I am excited. Today, we are joined by none other than the co-founder and the CEO at Frontegg, Sagi Rodin. Hello, Sagi. How are you doing?
Hi, May. I'm great. Thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm excited. Welcome to the IAM Podcast, Sagi.
Excited to be here.
Excited. We'd love to learn more about your product, the market, and of course, your journey, both personal and as a startup. Ready?
Yep, let's go.
Let's get started. So I know that your product is a very useful one, but I'd love you to talk about it with everyone. How critical is your product? Please tell us about your quick elevator pitch.
Yeah, cool. So how quick you want it? So a little bit about Frontegg. So with Frontegg, we're providing a very quick integration of a powerful user management infrastructure that was designed for modern applications. And Frontegg supports application builders by covering all the way from the most fundamental flows to the most complex customer use cases. So we started 2 years ago, already working with dozens of great companies. We're a critical infrastructure, so we're kind of managing a lot of their product infrastructure, working both on the back end and the data layer, managing users, multi-tenancy, and other entities within their product, and covering the front end part as well. So we're actually sitting on the front side, the customer facing elements of their product.
All right. You said it's a critical. So every business needs your product. First, what is the pain point that you identified?
Yeah, so the PLG era is here, the product-led growth, and it's not just a buzzword. So modern products these days need to adapt and become flexible in order to support any kind of users that comes their way. Now, the boundary between selling to enterprises or selling to startups has become very loose. So a user that will enter your app through a self-serve sign up can belong to any organization, any type of organization. They can belong to a giant organization, or they can belong to a small startup. Now, if you don't have the way to distinguish and support different use cases, basically you have two options. Either I'm saying that I'm choosing one path and then I'm consciously choosing to disappoint some of my users, or I'm investing a lot of effort into building this super powerful and flexible product infrastructure, that kind of move the focus of my engineering product team from the core of my business. For early stage startups, it is even more complicated because in early stage you don't know what will be your go-to-market. You don't even know sometimes who will be your customers, whether you end up selling bottom-up or top-down. And that means that you kind of have to focus on building these flexible infrastructures when you're actually in exploration stages of your business. So with Frontegg, the good news is that you don't have to choose. So we're kind of providing you with the freedom to explore your go-to-market by providing a powerful and flexible user infrastructure that covers all the way from fundamental flows to the most complex customer use cases. one of our customers once said that we're kind of providing you with an unfair advantage to support all types of customers within your product, within your business from day one. And this is, I think, why customers like us. They start with the basic stuff like authentication, whether it's passwordless or password strategy based, with multi-factor authentication, with basic profile management on the product side. But then throughout the life cycle of your business, your customers will request for more and more advanced capabilities as you move on. And this is when with Frontegg, you can just toggle those advanced product capabilities right away. You work with our SDK. So basically you just enforce stuff, you use our APIs, but at the end of the day, you enable product capabilities in a snap. So I think this is the experience that kind of makes our customers really love using our platform.
Nice customer feedback. So you give them an unfair advantage. They're from basic to complex. And okay, like for me as a simple user, I just sign up and I just log in. That's basic. So I'd love to know, I'm sure everyone, not so techie part, okay, would love to know the evolution of signups and logins. How did it change?
Yeah, so about 5 years ago, when you looked at products, the main differentiator there would be the core algorithms or the core heavy tech. So that means, for example, if we look at the cyber security industry, you would win the so-called POCs 5 years ago by getting the best detection rate of malware. And if you're a fintech company, you would win with the best machine learning algorithms to kind of, forecast your growth or stuff like that. What changed in the last few years is that the product itself became a mandatory part, a crucial part in the way you win deals and win customers. So that means that taking back 5 years ago, even 3 years ago, it was kind of enough when I'm building my product to provide an authentication experience, a sleek authentication experience, which means that, I sign up, maybe even the sign up flow would be taken care by support, and somebody will send me my user credentials, or I will sign up through the portal, but then I need to log in. So basically you're providing me a chance to log in and multi-factor authentication and stuff like that. And basically that was it. And the other parts within the product would be the core business aspects of that specific product. Now, the evolution that happened during the last few years is that modern application or SaaS applications have kind of started to get standard around the experience that customers expect when they're using product. So they do want to sign up and log in, but then the next step that they would want is, for example, they would want to add somebody within their organization to the same account. And while they're adding it, they would want to control the roles that user would have within the account. So, okay, I'm telling my friend, this is a cool product, come and check it out. I'm inviting them, but maybe not giving them like the super admin permissions. I want to do everything self-serve, right? I don't want to open tickets to add more users into my account. Today, it's, that's just the standard. Now, the next thing that I would probably want to do is I would want to start coding stuff through my own backend with the product. So I would want to generate an API token. And then, once there's enough traction within my organization with the product, I would want to go to the security guy and say, listen, okay, now that we're after the trial and the freemium period, we need to kind of scale up with the product. So is it okay? Do you give me like a green light from the security aspect? And the next thing you would be asked, right, is, okay, are they providing multi-factor authentication? Can I connect my own enterprise SSO, my identity provider, whether it's Okta or G Suite? Can I control the password complexity within the account? And do I have audit logs because I myself am compliant for SOC 2 or GDPR or whatever? And once those are the questions that are being asked, the security person would want to kind of log in and play with the product and check what kind of security they provide there. And that guy would not want to kind of send those Excel checklists and to their vendors. They would just want to explore it on their own. So everything is moving towards self-service, which means that the end user is independently able to control everything within their app. Now that means that it's a whole different level of product capabilities that you need to develop within your product. And again, it's either you're kind of taking your best people and putting them on these tasks that are repetitive and sometimes even boring. They don't want to deal with these kind of things, or you're just becoming a low standard product, and you're not competing well with your competitors that might be even years ahead of you. So you will lose business eventually. And this is when we came and said, okay, if that's the standard and people are getting used to different experience within the products they know, like Notion, like Slack, like Salesforce, Google Workspace, and so on and so forth, then why not provide them the ability to kind of plug in those experiences, powerful interfaces to their product. And that's what we do. So we're providing you with those interfaces in a plugin manner. So it's a few lines of code, and you can kind of provide an awesome user experience to your users, to your customers.
Mm-hmm. So that's how you take things, self-service administration up a notch. Okay, talk to us about your SLAs, your uptime. That's critical, right? Uptime is everything.
Yep. So, I would say that we are critical infrastructure, and in the most intensive way. And this is why, we're taking scale and security and uptime from day one. The whole foundation was built to support heavy use cases. So today we have customers with dozens of thousands of end users that are authenticating, generating API tokens, sending audit logs, subscribing to webhooks, and dealing with our platform. We're critical because we're not only providing you with the backend. So if we're down, your users, they cannot authenticate, but we're also providing you with product components. So that means that, we cannot hide on the backend. You cannot hide us on the backend and kind of put a layer of cache or something in front of us. We're taking care of the whole experience from the backend to the user's browser. So that means that if you're breaking something on the front end, that will make a lot of noise within your product as well. So there's a lot of criticality here. We're actually taking several measures to kind of handle those things. One of it is, we're working on multi-cloud, and we're taking it to a whole new level of letting the customer kind of choose where their critical infrastructure resides, and of course, availability zones and everything that we can do to make sure that we are having a minimal impact, even if something is wrong or on our end, your users will still get a decent experience within your product. And this is something that makes every feature development, every feature planning into, a whole different thing. We should think about the customer experience from, how great it is and how quick it is to get an action done. But we also should think of stuff like, okay, what happens if something doesn't work? How we still keep a good experience on the end user side and on the developer side as well. So these are two types of users that we kind of have to make happy.
Okay. Yes. So you make your customers happy, right? How is your first
And make their customers happy.
and
So we
make
have
their
like two.
customers really
Exactly.
critical? Okay.
Yeah.
So how was your first paying customer? Would love you to share about your first paying customer, the experience, and your MVP. How did it evolve?
Yeah, we both myself and Aviad, my co-founder, we came from a background of dealing with customer-facing products, a lot of SaaS, a lot of B2B, deep tech applications, but also I had the privilege to kind of see all worlds, also work a bit on mobile and consumer applications. We had a vision and a view on what are those repetitive product capabilities that just exist in any product these days. So the plan was, we go to customers basically and talk to them and say, okay, listen, what are the things that you currently need to build and you don't have the resources to build because, they will provide you with business, but they're not the main part of the business, if you know what I mean. So so we got a lot of answers on those. Some said, okay, I'm going through SOC 2 compliance and I have this customer from the West Coast in the US that needs to be compliant with CCPA, which is like kind of like the GDPR of the United States. And so I have to deal with audit logs. And I don't have the time to deal with audit logs. And some said, okay, I'm having my first enterprise POC right now, and they signed up with the username and password, but then they're saying that in 2 weeks from now, they will need to connect their SSO because they're just not allowed to have users signing up with username password. So they need to sign up with their Okta. So I have to develop this SSO capability. And some customers said that, okay, I'm a developer facing product, so I have to provide my developers with the ability to generate tokens. So we kind of chose the answer that we thought would bring us the first design partners and started to work on those capabilities. At the beginning, we still didn't think of it as a platform or just controlling the whole narrative of the user management, but thought of it more as, okay, let's take those modules that you kind of wish it was a microservice that somebody else built and just provide them as a service. And this is what we went and did. So we got several design partners, and from there, I think you ask about the paying part. So I think that for some products it is crucial, even on very early stages, to have your design partners pay for your product because it shows kind of a stake in the game. For us, as a critical infrastructure, it was enough for somebody to kind of go and say, okay, develop this feature to my product, and I'll let you into the most intimate places, within my user experience with my customers, and that's enough stake in the game, we think. So, our first design partners, they didn't pay us, but it was always clear that if we're providing a decent product and we're bringing them to market much faster, we're making their developers happy because they can deal with the exciting feature development and not with the repetitive feature development that nobody likes to deal with. And we're saving them resources. That's a lot of value. So it's clear from that they will pay for the product. So there was never a question of whether somebody's going to pay for it. And today as well, I think that we're getting a lot of inbound motion. So our product itself is open source, so everybody can sign up for free, of course, and start playing with the platform. So we see that customers kind of just sign up, start to play with the code using our SDKs, or just REST APIs or GraphQL. They're just playing with the system. They're integrating a certain part, which is usually like a basic authentication, for example. And then once they're in, they're starting to explore the different capabilities, like installing our admin portal to their application, which allows the whole self-service experience. So that basically means that there's a land and expand motion. And once they're expanding, and even some of them are lending and asking to pay for enterprise plans, from the get-go, because they want SLA and support and stuff like that. This is, never was a question of whether somebody is going to pay. But I do, I can tell you that it's always exciting to have the first customer that pays you. It's a great thing. But for us, getting the first design partners, we had almost a handful of design partners right away. It was exciting nonetheless.
Amazing. Okay, so having that design partners, what other challenges did you face? Like, is it hiring developers because you do the front end, the back end, the basic, the complex, or security or innovation? Talk to us about that.
Yeah, all of them. So, I think that there's no argument that in terms of innovation, our product is very innovative. Everybody gets why you need to provide those capabilities within any application these days, whether it's SaaS, whether it's on-prem application, whether it's internal enterprise app, anything. We have different types of use cases covered. I will say that we're one of the I would say few products out there that we actually sell product. So we're not only providing you with some service on the backend and a dashboard to configure it. We're actually selling a user experience that you integrate within your own product, and that makes stuff very complicated because we have to make the best UI, for example. So we have to have the best front end developers, and on the back end we're critical infrastructure, as we said. So we have to be blazing fast on our responses and super high availability in place. So security, we're dealing with very private assets, very sensitive assets of our customers, whether it's their multi-tenancy, whether it's their users, audit logs, notifications, SSO configuration. Everything is very, very secure, and I think that this is something that, due to this sensitivity, puts the security part. We're half cybersecurity company, if you think of it. So I think that there are a lot of challenges. Our answer to that was always one: we bring the best people out there to work with us. And I think that this is something, even though the company was kind of launched when COVID started and people didn't get the chance to to meet each other in person, we have managed to establish an amazing atmosphere here between the team members. People get along. People go. People that didn't know each other go and get trips abroad to Europe together, which is amazing. And I think that this combination of bringing very strong people on the professional side, but also people that can kind of grow with you and get along with everybody, just makes a very productive environment. And I think this is something that we really succeeded well.
Yeah, I saw some pictures on LinkedIn of your team, and you all look so fun. And yes. Okay.
Yeah, the picture doesn't lie.
The pictures doesn't lie. Okay, so how did you do that? I mean, how do you get the best team members? What are the values that you look for?
Wow. So, I think that our experience together with Aviado managing R&D and the product teams help because we kind of got the chance to work with different kinds of people and from early days because we also work together. So we kind of, already knew what the other feels like. And I think that we're kind of, this alignment basically helped us to know exactly when a person fits into the DNA and the values that we're trying to kind of push around here or not. So this means that we know what we're looking for, and I think that basically that's very very important. I think that it's also important to get this variety of different opinions and different kind of company DNAs that people have worked in, because each and one, especially if they come from a very successful company or a good DNA company, they bring something very fresh. They bring a fresh, point of view and perspective, and how they see things, how they interact, and it kind of brings a lot of these good and healthy vibes into the system. Also, when you hire somebody, you should, especially in a startup, but I believe that it's it applies to almost any organizations, that you should look for the hunger of somebody that wants to succeed. Somebody that because if somebody wants to succeed, they will probably bring a success for their team members, for their groups, for the whole organization. So it's something that is very important to look for when you're hiring. So I think that this deep understanding and the fact that we came from good organizations, came from work with a lot of people in the past, hired a lot of people in the past, kind of brought us in position when we can continue to do so in Frontegg as well. And also, I would say that it's very important to hire the first core team, the 5, 6, 10 first employees, and really, really, be selective there, bring great people, a no asshole policy within the organization. We really promote openness, so we want people to be able to share their opinion, whether 360, whether it's to their managers, to their employees, to their colleagues, and once you have that in your core team, it kind of then spreads to the rest of the folks that are being hired into the organization.
Okay, and how many are you now in the team?
So we're almost 30, and we're growing constantly. So we have I think about 8 or 10 open positions right now. So like the rest of the world, probably we're hiring intensively. In all of the departments, in the engineering, in product, in marketing, in sales.
Amazing. Okay, so later I'll ask you like how they can reach you out, but first I cannot not ask this one, okay? Because you deal with security, so please talk to us about security related regulations and how your product meet those, like ISO 27001, things like that.
Yeah. So first of all, we're one of the first, one of the companies that had a CISO on board from very early stages. We started to deal with SOC 2 compliance almost when getting started. So I think several months after getting the initial MVP, we started to deal with the compliance. Today, I'm happy to say that we have a very strong security posture. So of course, SOC 2 compliance, GDPR, we're CCPA ready, star level 1, ISO 27001, and we're getting more of those, certifications. But besides the certifications, I think that, we're trying to kind of progress with good standards of engineering and software development around here. So a lot of focus on code security. We have specific parts of our system that are kind of labeled as parts that have to go not only through a code review or sometimes 2 code reviews, but also through a security review before they get released. And I think that there's a fine line here between making things secure and top notch on those parts, and getting to be like very complex and a gated organization with a lot of bureaucracy or stuff like that. So I think that we're kind of succeeding in doing both. So we can we're doing several releases a day sometimes, with a very fast pipeline, but also we have this clear understanding among the R&D team of when it is important to kind of stop and get approvals on different parts that are, we call it P1, like priority 1 flows, that really affect security and scale and the uptime and stuff like that. So we invest a lot of effort into defining that and constantly monitoring what works and what not, and improving.
100% tight security then.
Yeah.
Okay. You mentioned about a great team, like you all came from great organizations, but you all like work together in harmony. Okay. You started as a freelance full stack developer, and then you became technology instructor, right? And then a CTO, and now a co-founder and CEO at Frontegg. Wow, that's a great journey, Sagi. So talk to us about that.
Yeah, I think that one of the advantages that I personally have, managing that kind of product, a critical infrastructure, a customer-facing platform, is that I've been there. I've been a developer of I've been a front-end developer, so full stack even before it was called the full stack. So I know how developers think. And for me, it was always excited, to do full stack developers, because you could kind of control the whole flow and control the user narrative, so you can provide a full experience and not only the APIs or the backend stuff. I'm not saying that that's not important, but kind of the advantage of going end to end is something that was always appealing to me. And throughout the journey, when I was a sole developer, freelance, managed R&D or product teams, it was always around the customer facing part, whether it was mobile or web, mainly web. But yeah, I think that the journey is it gives me some advantage in building a product like that. Maybe if I was building like a different type of product, it wouldn't be such an advantage, but here it is, because it's a developer platform at the end of the day. Of course, when you move from technical parts, product parts to becoming a CEO, it's it involves a lot of business aspects. You have to go and raise money. You have to manage organization budgets. You have to deal with legal a lot and accounting and stuff like that. So that's those are parts that I kind of learned along the way. But it always helps to have a great team around you that can kind of help you and guide you. It's always great to have investors that can help you in that, especially when you're early stage. We have amazing investors, both Noga Cap from I3, and Ayal Itzkovic from Pitango, and David Citroen from Global Founders Capital. So they're all amazing and always attentive and can help us answer the tough questions that we have along the way.
We will be tagging them here in this episode. Okay, so what are the most important lesson that you have learned throughout your journey?
I think that the most important thing is that you have to kind of, when you're building a product, you have to always kind of play a dual value play. And it means that you have to first answer a critical need or a critical challenge that your customers have at the specific moment, but you also have to kind of allow them to see your vision and see where you're going with it and how they can expand and get more value out of your product in the future. And if you're succeeding in doing both, then the customers get you. Because if you're only providing them with a small value right now, it might not be enough to kind of play a big role in throughout the life cycle of that customer. And some will say that it's enough to solve only a small thing. We have a broader vision than that. If you're only taking care of the future part and you're not answering the current need, it's also a problem because you would lose the immediate, solving the immediate challenge that they might have at that minute. So you need to combine those. And I think that this is what we do great. So we're answering the immediate questions that those customers have. How do I get authentication, or how do I get SSO? How do I get passwordless? How do I get API token management? And that would answer the immediate pain. But we're also providing a great way of how we're going to give you value along the way. And when they see that both works, this is when you understand that they're in and will play with you.
Interesting. Like you grow with your clients, with your customers. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and apart from being a co-founder and a CEO, I saw your pictures don't lie. I saw your pictures in the office and you were all smiles and you kind of talked about work-life experience. Could you share with us unforgettable childhood experience? I know everyone would love to hear that.
So, I'm a father of 3 small children. My co-founder Aviad is also have 3 kids, same ages. Most of the people here, have kids, small kids. So first of all, it was very important for us to kind of, bless this understanding that if you work at a startup, you cannot have a life, right? So this is one thing that I say in interviews, and we encourage people to go on vacations. We encourage people to go to dates with their loved ones, to spend time with their children. If they want to bring their children to the office, they do so. And that happened a lot now in the summer vacation. So it's very important for us, and this is something that we're really pushing forward. If you ask me about experience, for me, I was always interested in what my parents did, so I went to visit them in their jobs, and observed a lot of great work-life experiences over there, and they always had time, to work really hard and wake up at 5 a.m. and stuff like that, but also get back and spend time with me. And I think that that's what I would want for our employees, to have that great experience and be able to give your best at Frontegg when you're here. but then go home and be a great parent, be a great wife or husband and child, and so that's something that we're really trying to achieve here.
Nice. Yes, that's a kind of Sagi legacy. Okay.
Yeah, you can
Redefining
go with it.
redefining user management, and what you're saying your post, redefining and also kid management.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Any best practice, or how do you manage your time? How can you be there 100%? Well, it's not 100% actually, right? We cannot really achieve that. But how can you be there for the company, for the startup? You said it's excruciating, and be there for the family, for your kids.
That's a great question. So first of all, you always have to uh, you know play this balance, and sometimes there are things that somebody else has to take. So in work, it could be your co-founder if you have to be with the family, and they should take a customer demo or or something like that. And at home, if you need to take that demo, then your partner should help you with that, or your parents. And so I think that it's important, if you're going to this ride, it's important to have a great environment and great people around you. And it's always about the people at the end of the day, right? So
The relationship
definitely,
you have. Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Right. Okay. What is the road ahead for you and for Frontegg?
Wow. So we're growing on every aspect. So on on traction, on funding, on the product side, and our vision is huge. So basically, if we want people to be able to kind of innovate with no barriers, there are a lot of ways in which we can help them to do so in the future. If you look at what kind of Shopify did to the e-commerce world, when if you want to do an e-commerce website right now, you just need to log into their website and put your products in. We're seeing that there will be more and more of those customer experiences that will be standardized, and we will be there to provide you with that standard in the most powerful and flexible way. So you don't need to compromise on your brand. You don't need to compromise on your user experience, and you can provide your customers with an amazing core value because your 95% of your team will be focused on providing that value and not on building the stuff around that. So we see it just as an innovation enabler, and we are there to make it happen.
Like that. Make it happen. Okay, great. So you have to fill this statement, Sagi. I am Sagi, your blank founder. So how do you want to be known for as a founder?
Wow. I'm Sagi, and I'm creating a great product and a great environment to work at, and just making innovation easier for others.
Okay. Wow. Like making it happen, founder. Okay.
Yeah.
Master of innovation. Okay. Thank you very much, and all the best to Frontegg. Sagi.
Thank you very much, mate. It was a pleasure.
This podcast is powered by IAMOps.io. Optimize your cloud infrastructure and CI/CD process with IAMOps.io dedicated DevOps team. Check out www.iamops.io and get a DevOps team now. Make sure to check out www.iamops.io if you want to know more about us. Subscribe to our podcast so you can get notified every time we post a new video. Thank you, and you have a great day.